Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We are looking at 3 beers tonight from Cushnoc Brewing in Augusta, Maine, being the capital city of the state. We're looking at Peasant Pilsner, Island Park Tart Pale Ale, and Axis of Sour Triple Berry Fruited Sour Ale. So big thanks to Fingers, Tony P, and your wife, the lady Fingers, for picking me up 2 of these 3. I think you actually put the 3rd one on my radar, but I actually was smart enough to say, oh, I've already got one of those in the fridge. But could be remembering that incorrectly. Anyway, Cushnoc, great fucking brewery, folks. They've got great pizzas, great food. They're in a decent location on Water Street, I believe, in Augusta. But the main brewery is not the star of the show. I'm sorry. For most of you folks, hitting up the main brewery is going to get you a decent lineup of beers. It'll get you live music sometimes. It's going to get you good pizza. The real star of the show is down around back in the tasting room, down below, in like the old stonework and iron fixtures, 18th century fort type area, behind and below the original brewery. That's where the tasting room is. That's where all the primo stuff is going to be on tap. That's also where the crowler machine is. They'll take anything that's on tap and fill up a 32-ounce big-ass can called a crowler for you. It's a take on can and growler, because it's not 64, but it's a big-ass can. Anyway, you get the picture. Tasting room's where it's at. The annex is really nice, too. The annex is on Route 3, and they've got food, and sometimes, I believe they still do food trucks, and a handful of beers on tap, but that's where they were going to do last year's Steinhoist. Well, Stein holding competition, they call it, not a hoisting, which I was greatly looking forward to as being the Central Maine Stein hoisting champion, since nobody has come forward to challenge me on that, which apparently doesn't matter because this year I'm going to suck ass at it anyway, since I usually use my right hand, and got some recovery to do before I am Stein hoisting champion material again. Anyway, we are way off in the weeds on this one. You know what? You came here for a beer review. Bottom line, check out Cushnoc. The main brewery is great. The annex is great. Definitely check out the tasting room out downstairs behind the main brewery, because that's where all the good, really good shit is. Tonight, we're looking at stuff they have canned. This is the Peasant Pilsner, 5.5% ABV. And yes, we're going from higher ABV to lower. Let's see, is there anything? No, just some stuff about the brewery. I'm going to read it once here. Cushnoc Brewing Company is proud to be Augusta, Maine's first brewery. Yes. Before Augusta was settled. Sorry, the text is really small and my eyes suck apparently. Native Americans referred to the Augusta region as Cushnoc, meaning head of the tide. Augusta is home to the Kennebec River and Fort Western, the oldest surviving wooden fort in America. Our name and logo pay tribute to our region's history, and our beers are born on the Kennebec. Okay, awesome. We're going to check out Peasant Pilsner. Look, guys, I broke my hand a week ago, and I have not struggled this badly with beer since then, so I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, but I will endeavor to fix this before the next segment of this video. Damn it, that sucked. Damn, that is a light beer. It's slightly hazy, but actually quite effervescent. Very light, though. It's got a very, very, very pale yellow color here that darkens to a darker yellow up top. A few bubbles coming up through there, but damn. And I don't typically see a beer that is so light yet so hazy. So there's a lot of haze in there for such a light beer. From here, there's a sharp aroma to that. And I don't know, I don't use the term sharp very often, but it's a very sharp aroma. It's just a general beeriness, almost a metallic smell. Earthy, metallic, slightly smoky. Huh. It smells amazing. Like a transformer that just blew up. Like electric current in the air. Like a fucking quick rain off of hot summer pavement. Interesting and amazing smell to it. I could sit here smelling this all day, but you don't want to sit around for that, so. I don't know how much hoppiness is supposed to be in this. They say here, floral, grassy, and crisp. Well, I'm definitely getting crisp, but honestly, I'm getting serious earthiness with a hint of the metallic. Maybe floral on the back end, in the sense that, like, Old Spice is floral, but honestly, I'm getting serious earthy and metallic notes to it. I mean, I can see the grassiness and the crispness. It's clean. It is clean and refreshing. I'm seriously getting earthy and metallic notes to it, though. Floral, yeah, okay. I can see that too, but it's clean and crisp. Easy to drink. It's going to go down fast. Damn. Yeah. Honestly, one of the more flavorful beers that I've had categorized as a Pilsner recently. I'm had this with a 4 out of 5. There's nothing in particular about it that's completely blowing me away. It's clean, it's crisp, it's got that metallic, earthy note to it. Pardon. With hints of floral. I know that they're primarily pushing the floral in their description, but I'm getting earthy and metallic notes. I am getting some slight hiccups. They're trying to break through here. Of the grassiness they mentioned on the label, but I'm getting a completely different experience, I feel, from what they've described on the label. But beer taste is subjective, so anything you do is going to be individualized. But nonetheless, it's still a really solid, really well put together beer, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. It's not what I expected from a Pilsner. Again, a 4 out of 5. You know what? Fuck it. 4.5 out of 5. It's getting extra points for being surprisingly robust and different for a Pilsner. Even if what I'm getting doesn't necessarily 100% match what they've listed on the label as the descriptive flavors, it's definitely different from any other Pilsner I've had recently. So, yeah, I'm putting it at a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not getting a wow or crazy, I'm completely blown away and impressed reaction. Well, I am impressed, but anyway. It's as close to a perfect beer as I can imagine without actually being perfect. And it's giving me something I didn't expect. So there, we're at a 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to finish this up probably quicker than I should, and then we will move on to the Island Park Tart Pale Ale. All right, so second up here is Island Park Tart Pale Ale. Comes in at 4.9% ABV. Pardon. It's a tart pale ale. Tell you what, this handicap is getting old really fucking fast. Still got another fucking 5 weeks, I think, to go before I'm supposedly at 100%. So we'll see what happens there. It's another lighter looking beer. Quite effervescent though. Got a lot of bubbles coming up on that. Slightly hazy, very yellow, with a decent head on it. Not a lot of effervescence after the fact, though. I'm not seeing a lot of bubbles still coming up from that cavitation, nucleation point at the bottom of the glass. But got a decent head on it without trying too hard at the beginning. Very foamy head, though. Very foamy, like a sudsy head. Slightly metallic yet citrusy aroma. Now, I gotta tell you, with two metallic aromas in a row, I'm almost wondering if their cans might not be up to par. But I've never had that issue with Cushnoc cans in the past. Big debate in the beer world about cans and how they're constructed and the tinny aluminum metallic smell and taste to them in cheaper beers versus a lot of craft beers. And I gotta say that Sam Adams, the Boston Beer Company, made a lot of advancements in can technology to overcome that metallic aftertaste. So when I smell metallic aromas from the cans, it almost makes me wonder if it's part of a throwback to those older, more primitive, less neutral flavored cans. But whatever. Everybody wants canned beer these days. That's the majority rule over bottles. And honestly, they've made great strides, most breweries, in overcoming the metallic ick from cans. So anyway, I am definitely getting a metallic aroma from it, but an undertone of a strong citrus aroma. A nice medium mouthfeel. It's actually heavier and thicker than I would have anticipated based on the look of it. Light in terms of flavor. Like I said, medium mouthfeel, light flavor, crisp, hoppy, like this punch of hoppy bitterness hits you, and then it fades to a more distinctly citrus character. Smooth and easy to drink, obviously, with a crisp finish. Pardon. Yeah. I'm more keyed toward citrus and pine when it comes to hoppy notes, so the fact that I'm hitting up on citrus there in the finish is no big surprise to me. But it's like this big punch of hoppy bitterness followed by a more citrus character. That's an easy drinking beer. That's good. I think I'm going to hit this with a 3.5 out of 5 overall. I'll try to say this only once during the video, but on a scale of 1 to 5, a 2.5 is average. So a 3.5 puts this at a distinctly above average beer. There's just no real standouts for me. I've had a lot of decent, well put together, citrusy, hoppy beers. That have that same easy drinking feel yet crisp finish to them. So it's not standing out from the crowd. I got no complaints about it. I could definitely drink this all day long. It's not a standout. Kind of blends into the background. You can say that about a lot of beers from a lot of breweries these days. But honestly, there's so many different things out there now that it's hard to stand out. But got nothing bad to say about it. It's a solid, easy drinking beer. I could pound these fuckers all day long. So, alright, 3.5 out of 5 on that one. On the Island Park Tart Pale Ale. We're going to finish this one up and move on to the last. I believe it's the Axis of Sour. Alright, so we're up to the third beer for tonight. I don't think I mentioned this at the top of the video. It's Sunday, July 4th of 2021. I'm pretty sure I've cut off the top of my head in half of this footage because I didn't really pay attention to the blocking on the camera. But this table fucking sucks. This table is way too fucking long. You know what? I'm not going to go off on a tirade on this shit right now. We're talking about Cushnoc beers, and we're looking at Axis of Sour. This is a triple berry fruited sour ale. It comes in at 4.5% ABV. I'm loving that deep, dark, royal purple on the label. I love that color. And yes, I'm taking my time doing this because a couple of cans that I've gotten from local breweries lately have had a tough opening and then they splatter because they're overfilled. Not the case on this one. It's an interesting color. A triple berry fruited sour ale. You know what? I'm going to read the notes here. Tart, jammy berry. Brewed with blackberry, raspberry, and strawberry. Whew, pardon. Well, it's definitely got some effervescence to it. I mean, managed to put a pretty decent head on that. Pardon. It's got a very hazy, very cloudy, like a citrusy fruit juice look to it. Almost like, reminds me of Ocean Spray's ruby red grapefruit juice. But, yeah, just a very hazy, light, it's got a nice color to it. I'm looking at the head on it, and those bubbles are very, very small. It's got a very foamy head to it. It's got an almost neutral aroma to it. But I'm getting a slightly sweet berry undertone. Nice medium mouthfeel. Up front, a big hit of sour. That fades to a nice overall berry flavor. It's like the three different types of berries that are in there. Blackberry, raspberry, and what? Strawberry. Are almost blending together. The color is obviously a very nice indicator of the blending. If you took blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries and put them together, they would probably amount to that color. But the flavor as well is a nice blending of the three. I'm getting distinct hints of sweet, tart, and sour, as well as a hint of bitterness and some berry flavor that are all melding together really, really well. Into a nice perfected axis of sour. There's even a hint in the finish, and I associate this mostly with the seeds of these three types of berries, even though you don't necessarily notice the seeds in raspberries and blackberries if they're harvested at the right time. But there's a certain hint of bitterness that I think is from either the actual seeds or the developing seeds. I'm getting that in the finish. So it's almost like very fresh strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry juice. With a nice grainy character of a beer holding up the whole thing. It's crisp, easy to drink, and smooth. Honestly, I think Axis of Sour is getting a full 5 out of 5 from me. Not necessarily because I'm getting like this certain wow reaction. I'm just getting this completely overall perfectly well put together beer. And I know I've given other beers before a 4 rating whenever I've said, it's really good, but I've got nothing bad to say about it, which is why it's getting a 4. This particular one, again, isn't necessarily giving me a wow reaction, but I'm pushing it up above the 4 and the 4.5 just because I'm loving it so much. It is what it is, folks. Beer taste is subjective and also relative. Your own experiences are going to differ. But for me, this one's a full-on 5 out of 5. Just because it's so well-rounded and perfected. Pardon. Not necessarily because any particular element or the overall experience is giving me that wow reaction, but because all put together it's just perfect. Anyway, that's what I have to say about these 3 beers. Hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Love to hear what you have to say. Whew, pardon. Hiccups are trying to break through here. About any of these beers. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.